social media.
True.
And you've highlighted print media in terms of the newspapers that have some of these question samples. I would like you to identify some of other forms of media that are specific to schools, like that schools use apart from the print media, like the newspapers, if any.
Yeah, of course, Moses.
To help us set the basis of this discussion as we try to look at the impacts.
True. I think I need to be so specific on this. We have schools which have opted for smartphones and these other electronic devices. I want us to be honest. We have heard about this. In fact, I'm one of the members who has contributed to some content, production of the content onto these different platforms. The websites, there are some developed websites currently which are developed and the content is produced, it is put on this very website, and then these students can access it, but of course using smartphones. You see, so when you choose to getting this kind of content on website, you must definitely be having an electronic gadget. You must be having a device. And currently, I think some schools are opting to that. There are schools which have gone that far to guiding parents to purchase smartphones. There are some schools which are training students in a manner that will really be portrayed at the university level, whereby students in secondary schools, they are now packing their laptops. You see, so there is an invasion of largely the electronic devices, and basically, I think if we must focus our discussion tonight, we should look at the smartphones, because I'm one of the people in this country who could have contributed to developing this content. But then at the end of it all, do our students use the smartphones for learning purposes only, or otherwise? I think
that's a question for further discussion.
Exactly.
So thank you very much. You've brought it clearly about different forms of multimedia used in schools, including electronic media. We understand that education is a lifelong process that goes beyond the four walls of the classroom. In your expert view as a professional teacher, how does the use of various multimedia tools help to achieve this long-term goal of education?
Moses, when we look at the dynamics that are happening within, in fact, let me start with the curriculum. The current curriculum that we are using as guided by NCDC. You see, you realize that the way how things used to be conducted back then, perhaps, I don't know how old you are, but maybe during our age and maybe the age of those, our fathers and our grandfathers, things have not remained the same. You see, things have gone on changing, and this is, it is just nature. We have to appreciate and know that things shall never remain the same. I think even the Bible and the other books talk about this, the changes we expected to come. But then at the end of it all, you see, as we are integrating, looking at the old and then the current, looking at the curriculum, the way it has come on changing, we must still understand that we are not yet there. Basically, I think we can talk about Uganda. When you look at the rate at which we perceive whatever comes, to me, in my own opinion, I think it's still at a certain stage of trial. That yes, schools, we need to have this kind of setting. We need to appreciate the internet. We need to appreciate innovations. We need to appreciate that the curriculum is changing in a manner that pulls and calls for such kind of twists of change. That even when you are a teacher, you need to say, yes, we used to do the chalk teaching and whatnot, but then at the end of it all, this has come, we have to appreciate it. But then where I pull out my step is that when such comes, then it calls for a number of things, among which, of course, is different stakeholders coming on board. We discuss. We see if this one is directly put at the desk of learners, what will be their greatest area of interest. Will they run for the negative area? Will they run for the positive area? Will they perceive the whole idea positively? Or at the end of it all? So to me, I think as teachers and as a professional teacher, it still lies within my hands. That yes, we can still, we can become a dynamic and say we shall appreciate the changes and we actually benefit from it, but then we sit back and say these should be the limitations, these should be our parameters. We say we must not stretch up to this point. And if we set those strategies prior enough, then we shall be able to go on and guide these students accordingly. So trust me, we shall definitely benefit from the current setting. And trust me, I can't tell what the future holds. Maybe going forward, the chalk and blackboards will be no more. And you find that we have to go by this. It comes as a wave and we all appreciate it. And therefore, if we don't start practicing it today, then maybe we shall be going wrong. So where the concept, where the whole challenge remains is on the way we are managing the changes that are coming our way.
Thank you. Dear viewers, you're watching Back to Basics, and this is Bethan TV for Health. I'm with Edwin, a professional teacher. Edwin, which subject did you mention?
Oh yeah, of course the science doctor.
The science doctor.
Yeah, I'm in the docket of the president.
Yes, the physics and etc.
Yeah,
something like that.
I'm the person of science.
I remember we used to do vernier caliper.
Exactly.
That was in senior one.
Yeah.
And micrometer screw gauge.
Yes, please.
And then the principle of Archimedes principle, something like that.
Exactly, Archimedes principle.
Okay, I just want to narrow down our question to that. As a professional teacher of physics, currently, how does your students benefit currently from the use of different multimedia tools available to you compared to 20, 30 years back when it was only chalk and blackboard?
Yeah.
If you have any specifics to make the impact come out clearly. Yeah,
thank you very much, Moses. And I think this one should really be on record. I work with Mbuya parents, which is actually too close right here.
Yes.
I want to tell you, my brother, that currently teachers are not so much stretching. I remember during my time when I was still in Oshane, you used to meet a teacher. He comes with his big books, of course, where he's going to get his notes from.
Yes.
And then this man is also having his box of chalk in the other hand, and the man starts from east part of the board. He writes notes. He ends in the west.
In the west.
By the end of the lesson, this person has used a lot of energy. This person, if there is any mistake that was made in his notes, it is the same mistake that you people must as well copy from the board and put in your books. You see, then at the end of this of the lesson, the man has given you a lot of work. He cannot mark it. He cannot read through it. And at the end of it all, the assistance, the relationship between the parent, the teacher and the child used to honestly be at a certain lower level because he doesn't have enough time to do the book check. He doesn't have enough time to do ABCD. But currently, of course, like I told you, it should be on record. Mbuya Parent School, we no longer touch chalk. We are using projectors. And what will you project? Of course, it must be the content that you have already organized. Now, I want to give you another scenario. We just prepare prepare real images. They used to teach us about, I remember when we were in Oshane, they teach you about the airport. Then you start imagining, what about the airport? They tell you about aeroplanes, they tell you about ABCD, the setting at the airport, but you cannot easily connect. But currently, you use your projector, you set your work, and of course, as a professional teacher, you know how much work I must, give or uncover within this particular lesson. So before you know, these kids are viewing exactly what we are talking about. If you talked about the vernier caliper, whatever you will mention, if it is, let's go as low as the P4 class of primary setting. You talk about germination.
Yes.
Many students grow, they grow up to the university level when they don't know how germination occurs. You get? But currently, using media, of course, you will be able to get this clip. You can, in fact, get the clip. You project it. And these students will be able to clearly observe The part of the radical, let's go biology. The part of the radical coming out of the seed, connecting the ground, it is in the video clip being watched by the students themselves. Then they will show you the plumule coming out of the seed. They will show you the seed turning into a seedling turning into a plant. And at the end of it all, honestly, we shall have to appreciate that the current era of media, if it is used in a way, if it is used in that kind of manner, then we are here to win. We are here to win. So currently, like myself, of course, I'm not a man. Even when you see me here, I'm not a person of chalk. I will not, you could meet a teacher from a lesson, you are having chalk in the nose, in the mouth, in everywhere. You are smeared. And at the end of it all, these people could judge and say, the one who has chalk smeared on every part of the body is the best teacher. Then you wonder, what kind of judgment really are you taking up? These were the laziest people, I may just say. But currently, organize your work, assemble it very well, and let it be projected. Let learners identify these things right from the real experiences.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And thank you for bringing out clearly. You're watching Back to Basics. This is Bethan TV for Health. We are discussing media influence in schools, and Edwin, a profession teacher, science doctor, here brings this out clearly that it does not only help learners but also eases the teaching process on the side of teachers. Thank you very much for watching. We'll break shortly, and when we come, obviously we'll continue to discuss more about media in schools.